It's bad enough to bring a knife to a gunfight, but what'd you bring to your we shall overcome fight? We can't just be right with words and on paper, and I'm nobody's savior, but it's wrong to know better and just lay there. Keep going to the polls voting in the best players. Dr. King's most eloquent Selma, Alabama grammar proved how much mightier the pen is than the sword in '65 when we came out in hordes and voted for the first time. So keep casting yours. And you know what Governor Wallace called us, and he meant all of us, even those yet unborn. The king and his giants opened those doors, so stop closing yours. November was the biggest thing ever that I thought would never since our marching king. And no human being can solve everything, but I wish he could reappear and experience this part of his dream. I debated whether I would say this, but things used to be different when my oldest sister had to call the other kids mister and started out in a school that was segregated. I'm agitated by the imagery, aggravated by letting it get to me, wrestling with the tension between my now and my history. It's complicated. Or when my friend had to watch his little sister die, they wouldn't see her in the ER because she wasn't white. That day they made a boy and his mama cry, and it changed him for life. When I was 5 and got hit in the head by a beer can, that day I learned just what fear meant by the angry mob in the gray sedan as they shouted, "N-bomb, go home!" Well, that's where I was walking to, so who were they talking to? But what could my father do when they were already gone? I remember seeing his long face wrestling with what he couldn't change, with no place to express his anger, when he couldn't fully know if this was an ignorant joke or his family was in danger. How many times then have I been judged again on my intention or ability, with bigotry killing me by the color of my skin? But I'm humbled by the progress we have made. My mother's mother's mother was born here as a slave. Then November should be an indication of some kind of vindication, because we all voted him in. His skin is my skin and my skin is your skin, and we all had to endorse him because it wasn't about skin. We believe in him, plus the affection he showed the world towards his wife and little girls and their dresses and pretty curls was priceless. And I'm like this. You can talk about family values, but when I see yours, I'm voting you into 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. In love with your wife, and I ain't mad at you, with her scholar mind and matching attitude. I'm so proud when my 2 and 4-year-olds shout Obama, Obama, Obama with their voices bold, because they get to start out with the second nature reality that I never had in me. Not just talking and dreaming, but seeing and believing. And I started to feel at ease the moment he actually won, because in the back of my mind I wouldn't have been surprised if cheating was done. And I didn't expect it, but my eyes cried before it reached my mind. My tears sighed after they left my eye. My fears died, 'cause now it was time. I didn't know how important it was to me until it actually happened. And that night I could have slept like a baby, but all I got was a nap in, 'cause I kept waking up watching CNN to see if it really happened. Did it really happen? I had to give myself a slap and take it all in. This time the Electoral College was my friend. Now let me say this to my rainbow of brothers. No other culture is beneath or above you, but I'm so glad this one doesn't look like the others. Don't let his bronze face or strong name scare you, America. Boom! He's breaking the ethnicity barrier. Remember this as a victory and a new beginning, not the ending of everything you've been experiencing. There is no quick fix to replace the time of healing. But for those of you who hold on to what you think you can't do, who's holding you back if it isn't you? I know about back yonder, but this day is stronger, and you just can't make excuses any longer. When this man did it coming up without his father, and even odder, he didn't even look like the mother that raised him, but had to come back here to experience racism. It's amazing then how the world is chasing him, to see that he started with a few door-to-door dollars, won in a landslide, had 4 million donors, no public funds, and 30 million in leftovers. Thank you, Jehovah. That cat's way smarter than the rest of the litter. Man, he Facebooked it, shook it, and took it to Twitter. Collected and let the internet help make him a winner. Clothed himself in cyberspace and became the center. Enter the dragon, because I don't know what kind of kung fu he was kicking. He fights like a lion, but doesn't break a sweat winning. It's exciting to watch the art of fighting without fighting. Non-violent, non-violent. Never meant you had to be silent. So step out and start living. Winning isn't always about having the bigger stick. You don't win by bringing a gun to a knife fight or a knife to a fist fight. Put down your grudges and fight from the inside. Fight with your inside. Let the old way of the old day die. Mind you, it's time you become the fine you that's inside you. Now find you a space to bind to and a place to shine you. It's a little scary that I wasn't preparing for this day and my stomach is in a twist, but we can do a whole lot better than this. United together, whether Democrat, Republican, or another one, because this is one nation under God, and November is loving.